observer to reinforce and also bring them closer to his dragoons, basically. Although he did lose a lot of probes, he saved a lot too, versus just leaving them there. And the other player's doing a very good job. He's spider mining, but look, just the fact that he's lacking on moving his vultures that are there to attack things. You know, he doesn't have the same capability to do everything that Best is doing. And if you look at Best, the key thing to look at is the bottom middle screen, and you can see what he's really focused on at all times. And whether it's a gateway, whether it's a control group or a nexus, he's always building something, or he's always paying attention to something, which is, I guess, the most important point here. You know, he's always got something going on, and using all of his computational ability, basically, if we go with the CPU analogy some more. And he's also preparing for drops and every there's standard play in build orders too. Like, it's typical that a Protoss player later in the game, you have to make a cannon at your main base. Why? Because whether or not you scouted it, there's a good possibility that there's a drop, or that there will be a drop. And so you just got to be prepared for it. And so he is. Especially from typical locations. Every single location, every single position on a map has a typical location that drops come from, where people think that they'll be most effective, meaning that they are the hardest to actually see before they hit you, so you have the least amount of time to react. So like a Templar drop, right? You want a Templar drop on a ridge. Why? Because the other player can't see it coming. He can't react. But similar to that, players have to do that with irregular drops, and so Best is trying to prepare against that typical location, which is definitely a very great strategy to do. And these are the type of things that you need to be learning if you want to become a better player, basically. And while I'm not the best player, it's very easy for me to tell you what makes you a better player, because I have improved from bad play, and everybody knows the difference from, obviously, you do this, you get better, And, but there's other things that you need to do as well. And I'm not going to really go into that because that's not the point of this video. So just sit back and relax and watch Best do what he does. I should mention, actually, that Kenny Casting from GameOutLoud.net and the SC2GG Commentator Idol winner actually played against Best, and he showed me the replays. It's a true story. He played Best on IC Cup under Pretty GM. So, I mean, it's a legit... Oh, my God! Look at those beautiful mind drags. Best using everything to his advantage here. And fantastic play, just breaking that tank defense and moving his way in. But anyway, yeah, Kenny did play him, and he did a great job at it, actually. Although, at the end, Best is so good that he owned him. I mean, honestly, Kenny didn't play bad, but he got owned. And who wouldn't? I mean, it's Best. You're playing a pro gamer. I don't know if he ever put videos up of that or not, but maybe request he does, because it was definitely a lot of fun for me to watch. All right, so now we're seeing the Terran players basically getting contained here. Best is on 3 bases. Terran player unable to put his next one down. And now he's going to lose that command center. He's too slow to react to it. And again, another difference between a pro gamer and a regular gamer, an amateur basically, is that they don't make those reactions quick enough. And Best, you can see his micro. Oh, he's even taken out mines most effectively with a lot of zealots of all things. I mean, that's ballsy, knowing that, being comfortable enough to do something like that. I myself would have picked one away and ran them through the mines and hoped maybe that the Dragoons behind it were able to take out the mines before they killed my units. Because I don't think I would risk 7 or 8 zealots at once to attack a spider mine as it went down, but he does, and he was successful. Now setting up his 4th base, which at the same time, even look at the bases he selects, he can easily defend, well, not easily, more easily defend those than if he were to go to the 12 o'clock position, because the exit from his main base and the entrance from the other base is a lot easier. And again, great unit composition, everything here, whereas the other player's just got a lot of tanks. He's too tank heavy. He's reacting to all the goons he's seeing, versus Best, who's really leading the tempo in this game and continuing to reinforce, continuing to macro up. And really, right here, we're seeing the end of this game. I mean, Best is just in too good of a position for the other player to come back. I mean, even something like this, he's taking out that tank with probes because the other player is focusing on other things. And Best, look, he's still macroing up, and he's doing a great job at it. And he's able to take out those tanks at the same time, while really not even skipping a beat, while attacking, while macroing, defending, and harassment. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I mean, it's like an art. If you watch the flow of his game, it really is like an art. And you can see that he's quite clearly won this game at this point. But he continues to macro up because that is how he's programmed to play. He knows that you don't stop here. You have to continue playing until you win it. And at this point, he'll probably collect up a little bit for a big attack. But really, I mean, just a great glimpse into how a pro gamer thinks, their play style. You know, as good as these pro gamers are, they all have different play styles. Recently read an interview of Nada, which was on sc2forall.com, another great website we're supporting. And it was a really nice interview. Nada is a great guy. He's very humble. He's a great role model for any kid. I'll be honest, video game player or not, he's just a stand-up type of guy, And he basically said that he doesn't. If you were to compare him to the newer players, he would compare himself to Flash, being macro-oriented, versus Alita, who he would say is more boxer-esque, and Fantasy, who's more I love UUV. I mean, that's kind of how he compared them. So you can really see that different players have different styles, and Best is just another Protoss player with things that he's good at and things that he's not as good at. It should be mentioned though that Best is really good in PvT, and GG by what looks to be Vasco. So if Vasco happens to watch my videos, which I doubt because he's Korean most likely, GG man, good attempt, but Best pulling out ahead. So like I promised, I'm going to put up some Mexico pictures now, but I'm going to splice it in after, so maybe I'll cut this off. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Otherwise,